to get to the truth from Donald Trump and the liars that he employs like Karoline Leavitt, the best way is to really just pay attention to the things they say, because they're so emboldened in their lies. They're so emboldened by their agenda, they forget and tell on themselves. They forget that they don't have the constitutional authority they claim to have. And because of that forgetfulness, because they're so confident in the things they're saying, and they really do believe Donald Trump can usurp and undermine constitutional authorities within Congress and the courts, that they just admit the unconstitutional thing. And that is the case here with Karoline Leavitt, who yesterday, I have two clips here. One is where she's talking about the OMB pause on funds and aid and putting people's lives in jeopardy. And she says that it's not a ban, it's a temp pause, blah, 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 blah. And then in the other clip, she's going to tell you that if you've got a question about whether something should be funded and you want it funded, go talk directly to Russell Vought, someone who's not the director of Office of Management and Budget yet. He's still in the confirmation process. We don't have to ask him anything. He's a nobody right now. But it really goes to show that they don't have any respect for the role that Congress plays, the co-equal branch of government of the Congress, of the legislative branch. They have no respect for it. If you have a question, go ask Russell Vought, an unelected dipshit who's a Project 2025 white Christian nationalist. Go ask him. Don't ask the chairperson of the House Ways and Means Committee. Don't ask her. I think it's a her. Don't ask her. Don't ask us, the president who actually signs the bill into law. Don't ask us. Go ask this unelected white Christian nationalist whether he approves of whether that gets funded. It's all a nightmare. Anyway, here's the first clip where she lies and said it's not a ban, it's a temporary regroup, or however she frames it.
To the other question that you asked about those specific programs, again, I would say this is not a ban. This is a temporary pause and a freeze to ensure that all of the money going out from Washington, D.C. is in line with the president's agenda. And as the Office of Management and Budget has updates on what will be kickstarted once again, I will provide those to you.
Can you just clarify for a sec?
Again, you do not have the power to redirect money that has already been duly appropriated by Congress and signed by a president. That's not how it works. But would you expect an administration led by someone who says he wants to terminate the Constitution, would you expect that administration to actually respect the Constitution that he says he has full authority to terminate? All rules, articles, regulations, up to and including the Constitution of the United States. I wouldn't expect that. And this is why we need an opposition party that is strong in this country, not finding common ground where we can. Here she is again, telling the members of the press, if you've got a question or if you're out there and you think a program should be funded, go ask Russell Vought.
Is the Trump administration recommending that organizations that rely on federal funding make payroll, pay their rent in the meantime?
It is a temporary pause, and the Office of Management and Budget is reviewing the federal funding that has been going out the door. Again, not for individual assistance, but for all of these other programs that I mentioned. I also spoke with the incoming director of OMB this morning, and he told me to tell all of you that the line to his office is open for other federal government agencies across the board, and if they feel that programs are necessary and in line with the president's agenda, then the Office of Management and Budget will review those policies. I think this is a very responsible measure. Again, the past 4 years, we've seen the Biden administration spend money like drunken sailors. It's a big reason we've had an inflation crisis in this country, and it's incumbent upon this administration to make sure, again, that every penny is being accounted for honestly.
You should call Russell Vought and make a case. If you have a problem with money having been appropriated by Congress through the process, passed by the House, sent to the Senate, then passed by the Senate and sent to the desk of the president and signed into law. If you've got a problem with that money that was in line with the agenda of those three bodies, go take it up with this guy who had no role in that whatsoever. That's not, look, I've searched for the clause within the Constitution of the United States, the go ask Russ Vought vote clause. It's nowhere to be found. There's nowhere in here where it says go ask whoever dipshit that runs the Office of Management and Budget, go ask them if you want something funded. That's because it's extra constitutional. It is unconstitutional. It is anti-constitutional. What do you think? Comment below, call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Please consider supporting this work, helping me produce these videos, reaching the millions of people that I do every month. You can take part in that. Click the join button below for $2 a month. You can become a channel member right here, wherever the join button is. I wish I knew exactly. I could really, really point to it. Or you can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Follow me on social media. I'm on Blue Sky and others @Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. You can tell me how wrong I am there. And I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine and take care of one another.